We all know that interest rates have gone up recently, but is it still a good time to buy? I get asked this all the time. I've spoken with several buyers and buyer clients who are getting very frustrated right now with the market the way it is. It's very competitive, and all of that is because in the last few years we've got about a third of the inventory as we did before 2019. The way it looks in many places, but especially Southern California, a buyer have to write 8 to 12, 13, 14 offers before they get a house because there's so many people competing for the same thing. And now that the interest rates have gone up, it's just kind of made it even a little bit more difficult. They can afford a little bit less. Is it still a good time to buy a house right now? We're going to be talking about that. Some of my buyer clients or buyers that I'm talking to ask if they should just sit out and wait, or they're wanting to sit out and wait because they're getting tired of the writing offers, going out and looking at houses, and now being able to afford maybe $100,000 less than they could before. So even though all of this is going on with the market, I'd like to say that I'd encourage you, the buyers, to keep going. Just keep pressing ahead. As long as you're pre-approved and everything and all set to go, keep at it. And the reason for this is to look at this house more like it's an equity builder rather than your final home. It's a first-time home. You may want to live in it for 15 years or longer, who knows, but I would get into the mindset of thinking about a home for a few years. It's not going to have everything you want. You may want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a large yard, but if you think about it, if you maybe take a little bit less than you could, and actually that affordability wise, that may be the case also, and not to have to get everything you want right now, later on you're going to be using this house just to build your equity up so you can buy your next house. You know, prices will probably go up at that point too, but at least you'll be building up your savings account through your house. Homeowners who have bought in the last and owned a house in the last 4 years have seen as much as a 56% increase in their equity. That's quite a savings account. It's like giving yourself a great raise, and that's what they can use to buy their next house when they're ready. So there's a few good reasons to buy now instead of renting at this present time. So even though you can't get all that you want, you are setting your monthly payment. Or with a landlord, there's no control hardly whatsoever. This way you've got a set payment that you know is not going to increase unless you happen to refinance it or do some kind of adjustable mortgage. But I would just say if you just go with a regular mortgage, you've got your set payment. And so you're controlling that part. You're also able to make the changes that you want to the house or the condo. In the condo's case, you have to check with the HOA on exterior type things and even interior. But you can make changes to it. It's yours, and you're building equity. So it's a great savings account, a great investment tool. It's one of the several different ways to invest. I think it's one of the best ways. So if you're getting really exhausted of looking and you're just kind of sick of it, I might recommend that you do the tours online. You could do 3D tours if they've got them. Look at all the pictures and just kind of sit back a little bit rather than sprint out to the open houses every single weekend. That can be tiring. So this is a way to lighten the load just a little bit for yourselves. Also, when you're getting ready to write an offer, consider getting a fully underwritten pre-approval. That's nice. That means that the lender has looked at all your information, your credit report, all your documents, you're ready to go. That's a step ahead. Now, cash is best, but how many people can do full cash, especially on their first home? Consider appealing to the seller by writing a letter. That's kind of old school, but I think it still works in some cases. And also, if there's any special requests that the seller has, like renting free rent back or rent back for a month or two, by giving that, you're going to put yourself in a better position to get the house. So anything you can be flexible with, that's great. I don't recommend removing the contractor's inspection. I think you can shorten it. I always like with my clients to have them shorten it to maybe 5 days, maybe 7 days, so that it's done right up front. But by waiving it, you really are waiving your right to use that as a contingency to get out if you have to. Now here are the upfront costs to buying a home. First of all, you're going to have earnest money. And this might be 1% of the cost of the house or so. So that is one thing. That's going to be going toward your down payment. And what the earnest money does is it shows seriousness of intent of your choice to buy the house. It's a necessity here to have earnest money. Also, you're going to have home inspection cost. Could be between $400 and $600 for that. And if you have any other inspections, you might have a drain tile inspection or a roof inspection. So you might have up to $1,000 in inspection cost. Keep that in mind. Closing costs are going to be, and these are the lender fees, are going to be between 3 and 5% of your home purchase cost. So, count on that, on having that ready. And also don't forget about property taxes that you're going to have later, as well as monthly fees if it's an association that is attached to the property. So, and then utility bills, of course. There's a new series on about buying your first home. It's called Owning It, and it's a Better Homes and Gardens program. It's probably on HGTV. I've got to check that out, but might be something you want to watch just to get you ready or to keep you encouraged. If you'd like a free home buying workbook, please comment below. I'll be glad to send it to you. I just need your email address, and call if you have any questions.